Hello everybody, here we are, I'm live. Okay, hello everybody, I'm Sudha Jamte and this is SudhaLive. I was off for summer for a couple months and we didn't get to talk, and now here I am. I'm excited to get started and catch up because so much is happening. I've been talking AI, I got you the book on generative AI, and I went on this couple months hiatus from live, and so much is happening within that time. So let me start with at least a couple of my projects. One exciting news: we're going to resume weekly Wednesday back from this coming Wednesday, the 19th. I'm going to tell you who the exciting new speaker is. And I wrapped up my Stanford AI course, and before I went on my summer hiatus, and I did some interesting things because I had to update my entire syllabus to generative AI because the whole class showed up uh, thinking about AI as generative AI. And it was perfect because my book, Generative AI, A Primer for Product and Business Managers, was the textbook. And I could point that to many students out there, but also had to build out my curriculum to explain what I do usually, right? Like explain the models in English and figure out what's the best practice out there. And in generative AI world, being a product manager, our implementation as a business owner is totally different. Within the time I was doing the class, things were changing. So it was kind of dynamically, I was building out courses for you. So uh, after that, I had my LinkedIn course that went live, and I'm going to share my screen to show you instead of just talking. Bear with me for a minute. Here is my full desktop. There's my book, Generative AI book, A Primer for Product and Business Manager. And thank you everybody who has read this book and ping me, and I appreciate your feedback and comments, and especially the support. And this is one of the times where, this is a Kindle book. I always do this. I publish a Kindle book, and then I wait for feedback to kind of revise it to my print book. And the support has been amazing. I've still not got critical feedback, so I would love to hear from you if you are using my book for something. Do you want to see some more of something? Because things have shifted, so I'm going to make an updated version with the latest greatest from Bard and integration of Bard into the Google workplace, more changes with Playground and OpenAI, lots of startup, the ecosystem shift, the technology map itself has shifted, and then Adobe has integrated generative AI, and then there's applications of generative AI and the ethics of it. There's a lot more questionable things that's happening. So we'll talk a lot more about this, but I'm going to build that into my next version. So I need feedback from you on what you like, what you want to see more of, what is working for you. And if you're working in this space, especially, I want to see you, I want to hear from you. So that is very, very important for me. That's the book. And then for those of you who are interested in this space, forget my book, who want more just to stay on top of the game, you can go to generativeai.book.org, and it'll lead you to this MailChimp URL where you can sign up, and you can get my mailing on the latest greatest in generative AI. If you just want to follow me on YouTube or LinkedIn and just get the live stream and update, that's great. Or if you're already on my Jamte newsletter, you must be getting it. But if you just want specifically on generative AI, then this is the place, right? So you're going to get that. So let me close that window, generativeai.book.org. I'm going to come back to this because I did a talk on that. But before that, I want to show you about my LinkedIn course because I started with this. So AI in Connected Products is my latest LinkedIn course. And that launched maybe in May. Yeah, I didn't get much time to talk to you guys about it. So I thought I'll show you a little snippet of that. It is called AI in Connected Products. So brings my love of IoT and AI, and it's a lot more AI than IoT. It introduces. In this course, I'm going to teach you to build AI from IoT data with no code AI, absolutely with zero code. I am Sudha Jamte. I'm a technology futurist and author of 7 books on IoT and AI. By the end of this course, you will build AI models for image classification, customer churn, and an intelligent chatbot to talk to IoT. Okay, so I want to actually dig deeper because this introduction you can see, on LinkedIn Learning. So linkedin.com/learning is where you would go. I'm sure there's another shortcut directly to go from your LinkedIn, but specifically the generative AI piece that I've incorporated in here. So obviously I take IoT data, I explain what is IoT data from IoT, different kind of data and stuff, and then I don't go into the building of the IoT. It's more on the AI and how do you build machine learning models. I've explained machine learning models more here in simple English than I've done anywhere else. So if that's something you want model explanations, that's something here. Language understanding, or NLU, voice AI for text to speech conversion, and intent based chatbots. Natural language understanding, or NLU, is the core model behind all voice assistants and NLP systems. NLU creates the algorithm to break down understanding of a language as text. Voice assistants use a speech to text converter and call a NLU in the cloud to understand what a customer wants to understand their intent. Okay, so the important thing is NLU and NLP is not gone just because we are talking about language models and generative AI. Then I explain generative AI models. Generative AI is when the AI transfer learns past learning to generate new content, be it text, image, or voice. For example, ChatGPT and similar tools are powered by generative AI algorithms. It allows for human-like conversations where you can ask it anything. Millions of people from all around the world are chatting with such chatbots to learn about several topics or ask the chatbot to write poetry or songs or even do their homework. However exciting this may be, are you wondering how generative AI is tied to connected products? Recall, industrial IoT is evolving to more human centric design by engaging with people using a chatbot interface, leading to the evolving field of Industry 5.0. Imagine talking to your voice assistant like you would talk to a chatbot. We are all using generative AI on our phone devices daily. Do you know where? Every time you text a message, there is an AI trying to guess and recommend the next word to type. This is a generative AI model working for you. Let's dig deeper on what these models are. There are several models that power generative AI on how it works with text and voice based modalities. I'm going to teach you three exciting ones: GPT, Lambda, and zero shot learning. Okay, so you get an idea of the course. So I'm going to pause this because this course is available on LinkedIn Learning, and you can go to it from your companies or universities or as individuals also. And I always like to start my LinkedIn, my SudhaLive, by sharing something from my LinkedIn, which is to congratulate amazing people. So the first one I want to congratulate is Oreva Jena Ahaya, and we've seen her at Weekly Wednesday, and in fact at an IoT day she was there talking about exciting stuff in the NLU NLP world a while back, a couple years back. And congratulations, Oreva Gena Ahaya. She is a machine learning research intern and she's a researcher in the AI space, and she's a researcher at Apple in their MLR team. So congratulations, that's a new one. And then we have ALOI and Upaya have united to with a significant agreement because they want to create a powerful partnership to uplift women to the recruitment of female riders in electric vehicles. And so that's an exciting thing, and my excitement about mobility, about it. I'm not talking about it yet because I did a presentation related to that. I'm going to show you that too. But congratulations to this team for the amazing work they do. And there's going to be a speaker at Weekly Wednesday who is also focused on women empowerment. I'm going to show that in a minute. But before that, I have one of my favorite people that I want to congratulate, Tehra Sahib. Dr. Tehra Sahib is actually going to be an assistant professor of business analytics at Menlo College. Congratulations, Dr. Sahib. And this is her first paper published by the Journal of Technology in Society, exploring the common topics across national policies on artificial intelligence. So when we get very excited about AI and there is a lot of hype, it is very easy to feel like, okay, I don't understand this. And of course I teach with no code AI, so you can learn that stuff. And then you hear about, is AI taking over the world? How is it affecting jobs? All those are real. And there are so many different regulations that's out there and discussions on regulations that's out there. So this is a very, very timely topic about what are the national policies on AI. And that is the paper that has been published by Dr. Sahib. So definitely, I hope you will go check it out. And so, coming back to what I promised, that we have an exciting speaker who's going to be helping us on a exciting topic on women empowerment, because that is her calling. She actually focuses on AI in education, coding for kids. She's an entrepreneur working on that, but she wants to uplift women by bringing them into AI. So Supriya Buvalkar is going to be our speaker at Weekly Wed. Weekly Wed is our global speaker series. For those of you who are new, who are just joining me because you took my IoT course or you saw something on my LinkedIn and you're just you're not aware about Weekly Wednesday. Weekly Wednesday, I've been doing that for 5 years now, and I have students of mine from Stanford or from Barcelona Tech or from LinkedIn Learning who come together. It's my happy place to meet my student alums on a global speaker series. So we get to have diverse set of speakers from around the globe, from all possible time zones, to teach us something new in exponential technologies, the reality of it, on ethics of it, on business implementation, business strategy. This is it's run on Zoom, so it's called Weekly Wed, and it's hosted by Sneha Jadhav, and Pariya Sarin is our intern who's driving this totally. So you must have seen Pariya everywhere talking about this and organizing this and getting invites from her. So let me show you before I go to Global South, where's my Weekly Wed link? So if you're watching this on my LinkedIn, you'll have to go to my YouTube. This is where the bit.ly Weekly Wed playlist is. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, you can obviously sign up directly and see this playlist. And every week it streams here also. Like SudhaLive happens now, Weekly Wed also streams on to my YouTube. So you can just follow my YouTube, you'll get all the different content. But if you want to be part of the discussion and be live and ask the speaker some questions, then you can join our Zoom registration. So Pariya is a queen of bit.ly links. So she's created a bit.ly Weekly Wed register, and it goes to the Zoom link. So it's just a Zoom invite. You can sign up and it'll get you the Zoom link. You don't want to be, part of the bigger community or anything else. You just come, join that on Zoom. That's an option. And if you want to just go and say, what is she talking about Weekly Wed? Why is it a big deal? And what is she doing for 5 years? I used to call it IoT show, where I used to focus only on IoT. And then I kind of expanded to autonomous vehicles and mobility and AI and different kind of AI, and every activity I do. And when my students, whenever I teach, they ask me for something. If I don't know the answer, I go find the expert. If I'm excited about the topic, I go bring the experts. If I'm writing a book and I want to research further, I go bring an expert. And my students come back. So I also have a list of my students who came back, like Carolina, or there are speakers who have come back who are just here, Emmanuel Bianchini. So they are my past students who have come back as future speakers too. Here, Vera Sirdikova is also one of my past speakers, for past students who's a speaker. So it looks like I have a lot of my students. I've taught like 700 plus students who are business leaders. Mamta is also one of my past students. She's also my colleague from the past. So I can't claim for all her smartness because she came already from experience. Most of my students are experienced people who come already as business leaders, ready to change the world or in the process of changing the world. And then I kind of guide them into a career pivot on the latest topic that I am focused on. And I've been teaching AI and specifically focused on generative AI, like I was sharing with you earlier. Okay, so bit.ly, the registration I was showing you, you can basically weekly wed register. Bit.ly/weekly wed register will bring you here. And I'll try and add these links in the chat in the LinkedIn streaming that you're seeing. And this will also be added in my newsletter that will go out. And Pariya is working on it. Bit.ly/jamte newsletter. So all the links that I share on here at SudhaLive, including this video, so that you can go watch that if you want. I will also be sharing a bunch of jobs and call for papers, events, all kinds of opportunities in the newsletter. So it's like a big picture thing, so you can kind of go deeper, right? Because I just don't want to be rambling on and give a list of here are the jobs, here are the events, unless I'm specifically excited about one thing. And I try to be very brand agnostic, so I'm not just going to throw a link of jobs at you. So we spoke about weekly wed, that is happening on Wednesday at 8 a.m., which is my time here in Silicon Valley, or it is 17 hour in Europe and Nigeria, or noon in Brazil. So hopefully you'll be able to come check it out. Or if you miss it, if it doesn't make time zone sense for you, you can always come back and watch it on the YouTube. Okay, so one of my other projects is Global South in AI, and so and we, Susanna Raj, AI ethicist, Pariya Sarin, and I launched this last year at New RIPS 2020, which is a big AI conference. And these are all the amazing affinity groups: women in machine learning, disability in AI, Black in AI, indigenous in AI, Muslims in AI, Muslims in ML, Latinx in AI. I'm part of the community. I see a lot of exciting things and papers happening in part of this forum. Queer in AI, Jews in AI. I thought there was more. This is an amazing list, because I could not even attend all their sessions and all their workshops and amazing things. So it links to Global South in AI, which is our one. That is all the posters that was presented. That's all archived in here. That's us. There's Pariya, and there's Susanna and me. Hi guys. You can see the different posters that were presented last year. And we had a call for paper last year saying, we want to bring diversity to language AI from Global South languages, and this is how we did. And thank you FI for being our sponsor at Global South. So this year we are going to get ready to announce another call for abstract focused on generative AI and ethics, and you will hear it next week, not immediately, during Weekly Wednesday. So look out for that, and I will have more information on that. So coming back to my classes, I have a question for you, because one of the things I always do is I like to get feedback from you and adapt my books, adapt my courses. So after my Stanford class, I had a whole bunch of students asking me for more, and they were saying, can we have more courses on generative AI, or can I have more courses that is on prompt engineering or specifically leadership focused and different dimensions of it, but most of it is focused on generative AI. So I wanted to ask you, because at Business School of AI, I have a bunch of courses, and then I kind of take a pause and then go off and do my other research and other things, then come back. So now I'm getting ready to offer a bunch of more courses on Business School of AI. Would you like the same 5-week format, once a week, couple hours like we were doing in the past, and we can have courses? And what kind of topics would you like to see? I'm thinking about generative AI for business. I'm actually working on a generative AI for business for another university. So this is very natural for me, because I'm kind of in research mode and instructional design mode, thinking about building the content for it. Prompt engineering by Robert Schwenter would be amazing, because I'm working with him on a course on that. He came in and did like a study group with my Stanford students on that topic. I'm thinking of generative AI on AI ethics, and I'll show you something that is reason why you would want it. And then the work we are doing with Global South in AI at New Rips is very relevant, because it's about adding inclusion to generative AI. Um, Let me go back and share my screen. What is it going to show? I don't know now. Okay, I showed you my book. Yeah, I have not told you about this. This is smart mobility. This is a talk I just gave last week, and it is at Connected Future Transport Systems Conference in UK. And I've spoken there about the smart connected pedestrian, right? Last couple years back. So I went back, and this time, because my head is so full of generative AI with all my work on that, I spoke about smart mobility and generative AI, which is bringing two of my topics. For those of you who know about my work with autonomous vehicle and research in that space would know what I've done there, right? So this makes sense because it is bringing me there. Why is this not moving? Why is this stuck? Okay, let me leave it here. I will download and bring you a copy. It's slow, maybe, Zoom is hugging this space. Okay, so and by the way, if you want to see this, this is on SlideShare. The page is unresponsive, of course. So if you want to see this, this is already on SlideShare, and you can download it. I have a habit of sharing all my presentations on SlideShare and making it free download, so you should be able to download. If you have any difficulty, message me on LinkedIn, or if you're getting any of my newsletters, you can just reply back. Okay, I'm just going to wait and get out of that. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to show you is, we've seen this one. Where is that? Shown you the new ribs. So there was a testimony in US Congress about generative AI and copyright. And we've spoken briefly about it in our classes. And I've had students ask me about this. Let me come out of the share and talk to you. And for those of you who are chatting and asking me questions, I'll come back and answer you on LinkedIn. I will not be able to do that on YouTube. And even if you're coming back and watching this late and you're saying, okay, I missed the live, it doesn't matter. If you post a question, I'll come back and find answers for you. Okay, deal? Okay, so the US Congress had invited a couple companies in the generative AI space. They are generating content. So this generative AI is about AI that's generating new code, new images, new music, uh, and writing, right? That's the big thing. And so there's been a lot of excitement about it. There's a lot of developer excitement, people playing with Playground and doing all kinds of editing with OpenAI. And there's been like Bard from Google that has been embedded into Google Docs. I don't know if it's open access for everybody. I got access on that, so I can go and have an article, write something, and then I can say change the tone of this article, or start. I can make it, instead of autocomplete, it's a little bit more of generating content. I'm very cautious about it because I'm a writer and I want to generate my own content from my own brain and my own heart. So I have a hard time just generating content, even so I'm not ready to even show you a demo like that, but it's integrated into Google Doc. And if you have read my generative AI primer for product business managers, I have commented about how Microsoft and Google are competing, and we are talking about search business, and Microsoft is showing this on integration into search, which is a small part of their business, and Google is integrated into workplace, which is a small part of their business, right, of their portfolio. It's not yet completely integrated into into their core business, right? The biggest chunk of their core business. And it's some ways to go. They are obviously testing and doing things internally, I'm sure. I don't know. So, but they're giving us more, and they're giving more to developers. And so there's so much excitement about it. So the biggest thing, one of my students was asking me about creativity, because there's a nice way of thinking about this. Generative AI is, creating content for the developers who are not the creative types. And so there was a question about, is it going to replace creative people, and jobs especially, right? So I don't believe, I always believe, like, there's one school of thought who says, okay, innovation, you look at it and you try to resist it, and then you look back on the past. Of the sewing machine is the new favorite example for everyone. I don't know how many of these people have seen a real sewing machine in life, but there's an example of sewing machine, made women who are sitting and manually sewing. It made them change their jobs or lose their jobs, but then it created a lot more industry with fashion and, automated sewing and whatnot, right? I cannot relate to this. Don't like sewing. I don't like sewing. That's how much I don't like sewing that I'm saying it so many times. But when you make an argument and just want to win without hearing the other point of view with empathy, it is very easy to pick one example and make your point on either direction. I have worked in analytics and headed mobile analytics, making billions of dollars for a big tech corporation in my past. And I can tell you, data can tell many stories, and people misuse data and insights to tell whatever story they want. And that's how we are arguing about AI and how good it is and how bad it is and what it is doing. So asking whether AI is going to replace creatives is a bad start to a question that should not be framed that way. How can AI help people? Where can it help people? Is what we should be thinking about it. And we should even, my personal take is, you should not even be thinking about, okay, now I've got this technology, who is it going to help? You should actually think about, okay, what problems am I passionate about? How can I make a better world? Where I'm sitting, what I'm doing today, how I'm living today. Would I like a pollution free world? Would I like to have shorter commute? Would I like to do something for myself, for my community, for somebody else, and then you can see what is out there. And then if you care deeply about the problem, then all the tools will look like solutions, and you will be able to figure out something, right? So that's my approach. But if you're excited about technology and you want to search for a problem to solve, that's okay too. But saying that it will replace somebody else who has competencies that are totally different from you, that you cannot even comprehend, does not sound very smart. So the better way to think about it is to go solve a real problem, or build the technology out for somebody and then go have a conversation with that somebody. So there's been this discussion about copyright laws and copyright and AI, and what Congress should do to enhance that, because a lot of exciting generative AI software, the models have been built on stolen land, which is stolen other people's creative pictures and music and whatnot. And so that is something that's being discussed in our Congress this week. And I want to show you a little clip. And if you can watch the whole thing, because I'm just going to show you the URL. It's streamed on YouTube. And has been widely shared by many AI ethicists on LinkedIn, and I will add a link to that in the Jamte newsletter, bit.ly/Jamte newsletter. But I'm going to show you one of the interviews that resonated with me, just to give you a sample. Adobe has integrated, and Adobe is a tool used by all kinds of creatives, and Adobe has integrated generative AI. And so this is the legal head from Adobe who showed up and talked to Congress. And there's been a lot of comments from technology companies talking about how they need regulation or they support regulation. So This sounds like one of that. I don't want to be critical about it because this is just a starting point of having a conversation of our Congress being aware that there is a need for regulation of some kind, because we have copyright laws. Now, if that is being trampled upon because AI is kind of treating everything as data without permission, then maybe it's time to kind of expand that. So that's the conversation we are having. It's a good place in US where we are having such a conversation, because we had people go to Congress and talk about social media. We didn't regulate social media, so I'm not going there. But we are at this point where we can do interesting things with this technology, and if we build it in such a way that we are not going to help people, or it is going to be, stealing content from other people, and then having a conversation about jobs or about a beautiful world is a non-starter. So I'm just going to go share my screen on where is this, on YouTube. Hold on for a minute. Every time I show something on YouTube, I'm always afraid on what the recommendation engine is going to show, because it is going to show something that I don't want to share. It doesn't matter, it's here. My screen is slow, it's kind of hanging, not letting me do this. I'm going to play this and see whether you're able to hear it. I'm not sharing my screen, guys, because I'm kind of feeling, yeah, okay, now I'm ready to share. Here we are, let's see this. Okay.
Mr. Rao. Chair Coons, Ranking Member Tillis, and members of the committee, thank you for the opportunity to testify here today. My name is Dana Rao, and I'm General Counsel and, as Senator Coons noted, Chief Trust Officer at Adobe. I'm happy to provide you with a secret certificate you need to get that title if you'd like after the hearing. Sure.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Since our founding in 1982, Adobe has pioneered transformative technologies in all types of digital creation, from digital documents like PDF to image editing with Photoshop. Our products allow our customers, who range from aspiring artists to wartime photojournalists to advertisers and more, to unleash their creativity, perfect their craft, and power their businesses in a digital world. AI is the latest disruptive technology we've been incorporating into our tools to help creators realize their potential. You've all seen the magic of text-to-image generative AI. Type in the prompt, "cat driving a 1950 sports car through the desert," and in seconds, you'll see multiple variations of a cat on a retro road trip appear before your eyes. We've launched generative AI in our own tools, Adobe Firefly, and it's proved to be wildly popular with our creative professionals and consumers alike. In my written testimony, I explore a comprehensive framework for responsible AI development that includes addressing misinformation, harmful bias, creator rights, and intellectual property. Today, given Adobe's focus on our millions of creative customers and our leadership in AI, I'll focus on how the United States can continue to lead the world in AI development by both supporting the access to data that AI requires and strengthening creator rights.
Okay.
The question of data access is critical for the development of AI because...
Okay, so that's the start of that, and I definitely would recommend you go look at this. And then so it's the Chief Trust Officer, not the legal head of Adobe, since he was talking about how it is so exciting and easy to tell AI to draw something, and it draws something. I want to show you something that I did with my class, and I did that at the talk recently, the one I showed you about mobility and generative AI. I did it there live, and I'm going to do it live, so I don't know what it's going to do, and let's see how easy it is. Okay, so let me go back, share my screen, and I'm going to do something called a flying train. Hold on, let me get out of the screen here. I want to see whether I can get that window back. So my friend Robert Schwenkter is excited about prompt engineering, and he generates prompts and teaches how to generate better prompts and what is the reasoning behind it so that you can do this better. And so what he ended up doing was he did a prompt called flying train in a very, there must be more to his prompt than just a flying train. And I used that image in my deck when I did the mobility, smart mobility and generative AI. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to put myself on the spot, and I'm going to say a flying train, And everybody who's ever seen any demo from me knows I'm so lousy in drawing. So I am going to draw a lousy train. Isn't this the idea that AI is going to magically draw for you, that you don't need to know drawing, which is a disservice to all the drawing teachers who are trying to get us to do something in school. And so I draw a lousy train. Okay. Oh, it's getting worse than I thought I would be able to do. I beat myself each time better. Okay. And there are some windows to the train this time. And that's the puff of steam. And I'm using Scribble Diffusion, and it says draw something, but they also want me to give a prompt. It's kind of cheating, but I'm going to do that. This is the last version when I did that. So I'm going to make it do this again live. Hands are away from the screen, from the keyboard, and it's drawing. Let's see what it does. Okay, this is a train. The track seem messed up. Train is too big, crashed on some houses. The train doesn't know to fly. And the puff looks like a cloud. And instead of flying, the cloud is on top of the train, and the train really looks squished. Okay, so here we heard about how it is so easy to prompt and the AI draws. And it's so funny because every single time I show this demo, sometimes I get amazing results. Here, the last time I did, just before I got ready for our SudhaLive session today, I drew an equally lousy train and I gave the prompt a flying train. It showed a train that was flying gears in the sky. For some reason, there is a tree also in the sky, and there is a plane with a lot of clouds. At least it's in the sky, right? So I thought, okay, that's interesting. Now, if I only made my prompt to be a little better, I could do better. I tried to do a better train. This time it has 3 windows, and my train has crashed and brought a puff of cloud with it. What is going on? So I just wanted to give you a sense of the reality of this. So do not tell me that you're going to replace creatives and creative jobs, let alone, this being built on copyright uh, data out there. We have a long way to go, and those of you who are seeing this, excited about this, need to learn prompt engineering from Robert Schwenkter, need to learn what is the reality of how this diffusion technology works, so you can improve this technology for us. And if you're a creative, you can be safe, your job is safe. Okay, I'm going to show you one last thing before I sign off today. This is a tweet I saw. Actually, it was shared by a friend from Rona Wang. And Rona Wang said, I was trying to get a LinkedIn profile photo with AI editing. So AI editing is what the testimony we saw from Dr. Rao on Adobe was. This was not done by Adobe, so I will not comment on that because I've not tried that, but I'm tempted to go try that after hearing the testimony that they want to do justice to creatives while developing generative technology. So that's a good thing. But this was done using Playground from OpenAI. And let me show you, how do you do the photo? So this is, so Rana Wang is using Playground and saying, here's my LinkedIn profile photo, and I want to do AI edit, to do the editing and to give me a more professional looking photo of myself, right? So before I go anywhere, it's only fair to show you how Playground works. So Aryan Dua is actually showing us with a lot of excitement how Playground works. How do you do photo editing?
So to start editing, visit the website playgroundai.com and then click on create. There are mainly 2 ways to edit images. One is the board editor, and this is a new add-on that has just been released. It is known as Canvas Editor. If you know what Canvas Editor is, it is similar to Leonardo AI's Canvas Editor. This is something we are going to cover in this video as well. I've made a separate video on the Canvas Editor of playground.ai. The link to that video is in the description. First, I will give you an overview of the interface. Here are some of the filters of the images that you want to generate.
Okay, I'm going to skip this.
Just click on this and you can write the negative prompts of whatever you don't want in the image. Down here, there is image to image. Upload or draw an image to use as inspiration. So we'll be covering this feature as well. Then right here is the generate button. So just put in your prompt and click on generate. Then there is import option. Here is the selection of the model. It mainly uses two models, Stable Diffusion 1.5, Stable Diffusion 2.1, DAL E2. So you can experiment with different models so that you get different results as well. So to import an image, just click on import image to edit. I'm going to import this image
This
in
is
order to edit
important,
it.
guys.
There are
AI
many ways
editing.
of editing an image. So now we can try changing the color of the hair and add some beard to this image. Click on add mask. Now just mask out the area where the particular feature is that you want to change. The
So,
mask does not have to be that precise, but it also does not have to be random, You need to be a bit precise in masking. So I wrote turn hair color to brown and then let's click on generate. And this is the result that was generated. If you don't like the result, we can regenerate
okay.
and see
So
what kind of an image do we get. You can also play around with the edit instruction strength. What it essentially is that whatever prompt.
Okay, I'm going to stop this because I wanted to show you playground.ai, and this is integrating a lot of things, and it is showing us how to do AI editing. And precisely all the examples you see are, here's black hair, I change it to brown, I did not even cover this very nicely, and here it looks like the same hair, nicely done, right? And so it sells us on the promise very beautifully. So now I want to go back to what I was sharing before with the the tweet that I was showing you, right? Let me go back to the screen. Oh, I made this full screen, so I need to get out of it. So I'm going to go back to Rona Wang's prompt or tweet. So this is a picture. So you can take a picture and you can actually add a prompt in Playground, and you can say, hey, you're using AI editing, just do this for me. And all she wanted was a more professional profile picture with Twitter. What do you think you're going to see? Are you excited? Are you scared? It took her face and gave her a girl. It says, give the girl from the original photo a professional LinkedIn profile photo. And it changed her face if you want to see what she looked like. And it changed her face with blue eyes. And the face is definitely not her face. So anyway, so I've shared a lot of things about what I have been up to, about my courses and opportunities. Obviously, when you get the newsletter, you're going to get a lot more jobs and events and more resources. And if you're interested in generative AI, you can go to generativeaibook.org and sign up on the list just to get that stuff from me on generative AI. And I've showed you, thinking and Dr. Sonia Tera Sahib's paper on various different national policies in discussion globally on this, on the overall AI policy, and then our US testimony. And we generated an image, we saw a YouTube video on how to do the editing, and then you saw the real editing. So I want you to get excited about this because I am excited about the promise of AI, what you can do with this, what every one of you can do with this, whether you know coding or you don't know coding, whether you're a creative, whether you're a writer, whether you're a product manager, it doesn't matter. We all have a role to play here, but I want us to get in, learn this, and bring our point of view. And that's what we are going to do more with Global South in AI, and look for our call on what we are going towards. But I want all of us to be part of this, benefit from this, go shape this, because it's going to be our world. But I want us to just get a sense of where it is today. you see a nice demo changing red, black hair to brown hair, and then you see the reality of somebody trying to improve their profile picture, saying, why don't I just make AI do it? And they became a blue-eyed girl. And I just want to leave you with this. What do you want to do? What do you want to learn? And obviously, I'm planning for new courses on Business School of AI for fall. And so, if you are working on this, if you have thoughts on this, feedback on this, on what you want to see, I would love to hear from you. And so, until next time, I'm going to sign off. And I hope you will join us at Weekly Wednesday and come in, learn something, and ask some questions, or watch us on live stream right here on my YouTube or on LinkedIn, and we can continue the conversation. At least the one thing we can all agree on is it's exciting times and we have much fun things to do. Bye, everybody. Stay safe and have a wonderful weekend. Okay, I am going to stop the stream. Bye. And don't remember to ask your questions, comments, and tag friends and whatnot on LinkedIn, because I'm going to come check it later. It's Friday night. I'm going to go out, but I will check in the weekend and come and answer your questions.